Namaste and good morning, everyone. Let's do some prayers before our class. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Tat Savitra Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, Asto Ma Satkamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamya. Om Sehna Vavtu, Sehna Bhunaktu, Saviryam Karvavahi, Tejasvi Navadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti 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 Om. Let's open our Uddhava Gita books. Page number 648. And this is a chapter 21, where Lord Krishna is giving the instructions on the process of worship, deity worship. So let's look at verse number 14. Asthirayam vikalpaha syat sthandilehe tu bhavedvayam sanapannam tu avilepayayam anyatra parimarjavam. The deity that is temporarily established can be invited and sent away, but these two rituals should always be performed when the deity is traced upon the ground. The deity should be bathed with water, except if the deity is made of clay, paint, or wood, in which cases a thorough cleansing without a water is enjoined. One may invoke and then immerse a deity made of sand from a river bank or painted as desired. However, the Shalagram Shila should never be immersed. Invocation and immersion is recommended for deities made of earth or clay as well as sand, except for paintings of the Lord and deities made of clay or sandalwood. All the other deities should be bathed with water. The deities of clay or wood should be carefully cleansed without the use of the water. There's no need for one to waste so many ingredients for worship if he considers the deity of Lord Vishnu to be made of stone. The deities that are painted or made from clay should not be bathed with water. Wiping with a dry cloth to remove the dust is sufficient. Verse number 15. Dravai Parsiddhemad Yagaha Pratimadishva Amayana Bhaktasya cha yatha labdher Hridi bhavena cha evahi. One should worship me in my deity form by offering the most excellent paraphernalia. But an unalloyed devotee who is free from material desires can worship me with whatever is easily obtainable or even within the mind. If one has an abundance of wealth, he should worship the deity with offerings of the most excellent ingredients, such as sugar candy, ghee, sandalwood paste, kumkum, and so forth. However, an improvised devotee worship the deity with whatever he may have in his possession, offering it with love and devotion. So the key ingredient is love and the devotion. He may even offer sweet rice or fried rice within his mind if he has nothing suitable to offer to the Lord. A neophyte or materialistic devotee who is filled with material desires simply dreams of gaining the opportunity of gratifying his senses. Such a devotee may simply think of the Lord as his benefactor without understanding his actual position as eternal servitor of the Lord. On the other hand, an advanced devotee knows that the deity is identical to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so all the ingredients for worship that he offers are actually properly utilized. The internal mood of a devotee is the principal ingredient of his worship. And that's what he said in Bhagavad Gita also, my devotee can offer me the fruit, the flower, the leaf, or even the water. But the main ingredient is the devotion and the love. If that is missing, no matter what he is offering, will not be accepted by him. Verse number 16 and 17, they go together. Sanan alankranam preshtham acharyam ev tudvam sthadile tatva vinyaso bhavanav ajye pulutam havi सूर्ये च अभ्यहरणं प्रेष्ठं सलिले सलिला आदिभिः श्रद्धयोपाहतं प्रेष्ठं भगतेन मम वार्या अपि. My dear Uddhava, while worshipping the deity, bathing and decorating with beautiful clothes, ornaments and flowers are the most pleasing offerings. When the deity is drawn on a sanctified service, the offering of Tattva Vinyas is most important. Oblations of sesame seeds and barley soaked in ghee are the best oblations poured into the sacrificial fire. Worship consisting of Upasthan and Argha is the best worship of the sun. One should worship me in the form of water by offerings of water. Whatever my devotee offers to me, even it is just a little water, is most dear to me. The Lord should be invoked and established on sanctified ground by the chanting of mantras. One should worship the Lord in fire by offering of sesame seeds and barley mixed in ghee poured into the sacrificial fire. One should worship the Lord in the sun by offering argha. To worship the form of the Lord in water, one should simply offer water. A neophyte devotee should offer opulent paraphernalia to the deity so that he may constantly remember that the Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer and that he, the neophyte, is meant for the deity's pleasure. An advanced devotee can worship the Lord with whatever he has in his possession, offered with love and devotion. So why the new devotee, the person who is just starting out, why should he offer more? Because in the beginning, we are so attached to the material opulence which we have. So it's kind of creating the detachment from these material possessions. That's why. One who makes a show of great pomp while performing ritualistic worship, but displays miserliness while collecting the ingredients of worship, diminishes his propensity for service to the Lord. Bathing the deity on a mirror, decorating the deity with ornaments, performing appropriate rituals on the ground, offering oblations into the sacrificial fire, offering argha to the sun, and worshipping the Purush incarnation who lies in the water are herein recommended. Whatever a devotee offers to the deity with faith and devotion satisfies the Supreme Lord, whereas even abundance of wealth offered without faith by non-devotees fails to attract the attention of the Lord. So devotion and the love is the main ingredient when we offer. Verse number 18. Bhurye api abhagto aprahitam na me toshaye kalpate gandho dhupa sumnasaho deepoho nadhyam cha kim puna. I do not accept even the most opulent offerings if they are given by non-devotees, but I am very pleased to accept even the most insignificant thing offered with love by the hand of my devotee. I am certainly most pleased when nice fragrant oil, incense, flowers, and palatable foods are offered to me with love. The word Sumansoho refers to the flower known as Sumanas. So there must be some kind of a flower with that name. Verse number 19. शुचि संभृत संभारः प्राग दर्भे कल्पितासन आसिनः प्राग उदग वाचेद acharyaam tva ath sammukha. After purifying himself and collecting all the paraphernalia for worship, one should sit down on a mat of kush grass facing either east or north. If the deity is permanently installed, the worshipper should sit facing the deity. So then it doesn't matter which direction, okay, wherever the deity is. Now the beginning of the process of deity worship is being described. One should first purify himself and then sit down facing either east or north. However, one who worships an immovable deity should sit directly in front of the deity, because God is in every direction. Verse number 20. Kritnyasaha kritnyasam mad archam pani namribejet kalsham prokshniyam cha yathavad upasadhyet. Thereafter, the devotee should perform the ritual known as nyas, the process of purifying oneself by touching the various parts of the body while chanting mantras. And we do that nyas when we do the havan. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. On his own body and on that of the deity. He should then take from the deity the remnants of previous offerings, such as flowers and flower garlands. He should then prepare a pitcher of water for cleansing the deity. Before beginning one's worship of the deity, one should take permission from the spiritual master by offering him obeisances. Then, according to his instructions, one should perform ang nyas on his own body, perform nyas on the body of the deity while chanting the mool mantras, and cleanse the altar and the deity by removing the previously offered flowers, and so on. So it's like a cleaning that temple also, outside temple. One should keep a pot of water for sprinkling, and one should then decorate the deity with flowers and so forth. So these are the very basic rituals which we all are familiar with when we do pujas. Verse number 21. Tad adbhir dev yajnam dravyayne atmanam evacha prokshe patrani trinihi abhis ter dravyas cha sadhyet. He should then sprinkle the water of that vessel on the place of worship, the paraphernalia for worship, and his own body. Next, he should decorate 3 pitchers of water with sandalwood paste and flowers, which will be used for offering padya to the deity. Padya means cleaning the feet of the god. Next, one should sprinkle the purified water on the place of worship and the ingredients for worship. In the container of padya, one should place water, black dhuru grass, lotus petals, and aprajit flower. In the container of arg, there should be 8 items: sandalwood paste, flowers, atap, rice, barley, tips of kush grass, sesame seeds, mustard seeds, and dhuru grass. In the container of achmaniye, there should be 3 items: nutmeg, clove, and kakola. So these are like a very detailed instructions according to the Karam Kand. Okay. And in the commentary, they put it, but in the verse itself, we don't see that detail over there. Okay, all these items. And different sects, they have their own way of doing it too. But basically, we are just creating a relationship with the deity by cleaning it, offering the flowers, offering the food, and offering anything else which we wish. Verse number 22. Padhyadya archmaniyartham त्रीणि पात्राणि देशिकः हृदा शीर्षनार्थ शिख्यः गायन्त्र्यः च abhimantret. Next, the worshipper should purify the three vessels. He should sanctify the vessel holding water for padya, washing the Lord's feet, or lotus feet, by chanting Hridaya Namaha, and vessel containing water for argha, for chanting Shirish Swaha, and the vessel containing water for Achmaniya, washing the Lord's mouth by chanting Shikhayi Vasat. The Gayatri mantra should also be chanted for all three vessels. The worshipper should purify the three containers by chanting the Hridaya mantra and so on, as well as the Gayatri mantra. After chanting the Gayatri mantra, the worshipper should purify the container of Padya by chanting Hridaya Namaha, the container of Argha by chanting Shirsha Swaha, and the container of Achmaniya by chanting Shikhaye Vasat. One should purify the ingredients for Padya, Argha, and Achmaniya by sprinkling water on them while remembering the Supreme Lord. So to me, I think the main thing is remembering God while doing all these archanas. The ingredients of argha are water, milk, tips of kush grass, yogurt, ghee, atap, rice, and barley, or simply barley water and yogurt as prescribed by the followers of the Samved. Brahmins who follow the Samved use the word arghyam with a Y in the neuter gender, but the followers of the other Vedas use the word argha without the Y and in the masculine gender. You can see that very detailed instructions according to the Karam Kanda. Verse number 23. Pindehe vayav agni samshuddhye hrit padam satham param mama anviv jeev kalam dhyayen nadante siddh bhavitam. Thereafter, the worshipper should dry his body with the air from his stomach, burn his body with fire, and then revive it by showering nectar from the moon, which is situated on his forehead. He should then meditate on my subtle transcendental form of Shri Narayan, which is situated on the lotus of the heart. By the vibration of the sacred syllable Om, this form is meditated upon by perfected sages. So what he's talking about is the pranayama. Pranayama was always part of the worship. Thereafter, one should dry his body with the air from the stomach, burn it with fire, and then revive it by showering nectar from the moon, which is situated on his forehead. See, this is how we do pranayama. So when we do the bhasrika, we are creating a fire inside our body. Okay? When we do the long exhalation, we are cooling down our body. In this way, one should meditate on my form as Narayan, which is situated on the lotus of the heart. The pranav or om has 5 parts, A, U, M, the nasal bindu, and the reverberation nad. After chanting om, one should meditate on the transcendental form of Lord Narayan. It is stated in the Vedas that the Supreme Lord himself is the transcendental sound vibration of the Vedas and the ultimate goal of Vedanta. This ritual is called Bhoot Shuddhi, or purifying oneself. Before worshipping the Lord, one must perform Bhoot Shuddhi. And Bhoot over here means all the basic elements in our body. Okay, and there's a long technique also, but which on our website you can look at it, how to do the Bhut Shuddhi. But before doing our daily prayers, we can do a shorter version of Bhut Shuddhi too, like cleaning yourself. Verse number 24. ते आत्मभूत्याः पिण्डे व्याप्ते सम्पूज्ये तन्मया अवाहरार्चिः दिशु स्थाप्ये न्यस्तांगम mam prapujyet. When my transcendental form, which pervades his body, is perceived by the worshipper, he should worship me within his mind. And then externally invoke me in the deity with full concentration. He should then perform niyas on my transcendental body before beginning his worship. The super soul illuminates the entire body of the devotee, just as the light of a lamp illuminates a room. One should first worship the Lord mentally and then with full concentration invoke the Supreme Lord within the deity. In this way, one installs the deity and then performs niyas on his own body as well as that of the deity. Verse number 25 and 26. पाद्योपस्पर्शः अहर्नादीन उपचारान् प्रकल्पयेत् धर्म आदि विसृज नवमी कल्पितवामासनं मम पद्मम् अष्ट दलम तत्र कर्णिका केसरोज्ज्वलम् उभयायाम वेद तंत्राभ्याम मह्यम तुभ्ये सिद्ध्ये. The worshipper should mentally place an asana that is decorated with the personified deities of religion, knowledge, renunciation, opulence, and my 9 spiritual energies. He should think of my sitting place as an effulgent lotus flower with 8 petals with a saffron filament within the wall. Then, following the regulations of the Vedas and the Tantras, he should offer me padye, argha, achmaniya, and other items of worship. By following this procedure, one is awarded material enjoyment in this life and attains liberation after death. What should one do before offering argha and achmaniya to the deity? One should imagine a yoga pit asana for the Lord, consisting of religion, knowledge, renunciation, and opulence, and he should mentally place it on an 8-petal lotus flower. He should then worship the Lord by offering various paraphernalia while following the rules and regulations laid down in the Vedas and the Tantras. As a result of this worship, one obtains material enjoyment and liberation. Verse number 27. Sudarshanam panchajanyam madasishu dhanurhalana mushlam kostum malam shri vast cha anupujyet. One should then worship in order the Lord's Sudarshan Chakra, Panchajanya conch shell, flower garland, sword, arrows, bow, plow, musal, weapon, costume, gem, and Shri Vatsa. One should worship the Sudarshan Chakra and plow that are in the Lord's hands. The 8 weapons on the 8 sides of the Lord, the kaustubh gem around the Lord's neck, and the curl of hair, Shri Vatsa, on his chest. The name of the 4-armed Lord, Narayan's chakra, is Sudarshan. His conch shell is named Panchajanya. His club is named Kamduki. His lotus is named Shirivasa. His bow is named Sharang. His sword is named Nandak. His gem around his neck is named Kaustubh. and the curl of hair on his chest is named Shri Vatsa. Verse number 28. Nandam sunandam garudam prachandam chandam evacha mahabalam balam cha eva kumudam kumud ekshanam. Thereafter, one should worship the 8 associates of the Lord: Nand, Sunand, Prachand, Chand, Mahabal, Bal, Kumud, and Kumudkshen in the 8 directions and worship Garuda in front. Verse number 29. Durgam Vinayakam Vyasam Vishvakshenam Gurun Suran Swe Swe Sthane to Abhimukhan Pujet Rokshna Anedibi. Thereafter, with offerings such as Arg, one should worship Durga, Vinayak, Vyas, Vishvakshen, the spiritual masters, and the demigods headed by Indra. All these personalities should be in their proper places, facing the deity. All of these personalities are the associates of Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. One must worship them while performing worship of Lord Narayan. This Durga and Vinayak Ganesha are not the Durga and Ganesh of the Devi Dham, material world, who award material enjoyment. Verse number 30 and 31. Chandano Shir Karpur Kun Kumaguru Vasite Salilehe Sanapayen Mantrer Nityadya Vibhavesati Swaran Dharmah Nuvaken Mahapurush Vidya Purushenapi Sukten Samabhi Rajanadibhi. As opulently as his wealth permits, a worshipper should bathe the deity daily with water mixed with sandalwood paste, camphor, ushir root, kumkum, and aguru. While bathing the deity, he should recite Vedic hymns such as the Swaran Karam, Mahapurush Vidya, Purusha Sukta, and Rachana. One should worship the associates of the Lord in their respective places, facing the altar from the 8 directions. Garud should be worshipped in front of the altar, Durga and the others in their specified places, the spiritual masters to the left, and the demigods headed by Indra toward the east. One should worship all these personalities by sprinkling purified water and then offering argha. One should recite the Swaran Gar mantra, beginning with Swarnam Gharmaha Parivednam. The Mahapurush Vidya mantra, beginning with the Chitantehe Pundrakshaka Namastehe Vishwabhavna. The Purusha Sukta mantra, beginning with Sahasra Shirsha, and the Rajanaha mantra from the Samved. Devotional songs should also be sung. The word Adi also means mantras such as the Rohini mantras, and these should also be chanted. The Purusha Sukta mantras from the Rig Veda begin with the Om Sahasar Shirsha Purushaha Sahasrasikaha Sahaspatir. Verse number 32. Vastropavit Bharna Patra Stragam Gandh Lapnehe Alankurvit Prem Mad Bhagtau Mam Yathochitama. This is verse number 32. My devotees should then lovingly decorate me with fine clothing, ornaments, a sacred thread, marks of tilk, a flower garland, a garland of tulsi leaves, sandalwood paste, and other scented substances. The word patra, strag, refers to a garland of tulsi leaves. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with these rituals. Padyam Achmaniyam Chagandham Sumansoho Kshatana Dhoop Deepop Aryani Dadhan Me Shraddhyarchakaha. The worshipper should faithfully offer me Padya, Argha, achmane, sandalwood pulp, incense, a ghee lamp, atp rice, and flowers. Verse number 34. Gud payas sapeshihi shaklup e apup mod kan संयाव दधि सुपांसच नैवेद्यम sati kalpayet. Within his means, the devotee should offer me sugar candy, sweet rice, ghee, shakuli rice flour cakes, apup various sweet cakes, modak steamed rice flour dumplings filled with sweet coconut and sugar, samyav wheat cakes made with ghee and milk and covered with sugar and spices, yogurt, vegetable soups, and other palatable foods. Preparations made with good and sugar candy, as well as sweet rice, fried rice made with ghee, milk cakes, sweets made with wheat flour, pancakes, and other palatable food should be offered to the Lord if one has the capacity. Okay, so it's not a must. Only the things which we like, we are just offering it. These are the things which people like to eat. So cultivate the relationship, personal relationship with God by offering the same things which you like. Verse number 35. Abhyongna mardanardarsh dant dhava bhishechanam anadya geet nrityani parvani sayur utanva aham. On special days, such as Ekadashi, and every day if possible, the deity should be massaged with scented oil, shown a mirror, offered a eucalyptus stick for brushing his teeth, bathed with the 5 kinds of nectar, offered varieties of opulent foods, and entertained with singing and dancing. So by doing this, you are visualizing that God is there in that form. And you're doing all those things which you like, offering it to God. In the early morning, one should wake up the deity and offer him a small twig for brushing his teeth. One should then massage the deity's body with scented oil. Remove the oil from his body by applying kumkum and camphor. Bathe the body with milk, yogurt, ghee, honey, and scented water. Thereafter, one should decorate the deity with fine silk clothing and valuable ornaments. Apply sandalwood paste, offer a flower garland, display a mirror, offer incense flowers, a ghee lamp, and achmani. Next, one should offer 4 kinds of food, those that are chewed, licked, sucked, and drunk. One should then offer scented water, betel nuts, a flower garland, and finally, arti. Thereafter, one should arrange a bed that is decorated with flowers, place the deity upon it, and fan him with a chamar and a peacock feather fan. One should then sing, play musical instruments, dance before the deity. All of these aspects of deity worship should be performed on special days, such as Ekadashi, or if one has the means, on a daily basis. So it's just like in order to do all those rituals, it will take some time. Okay? And in that time, what are you doing? You are thinking about God. You are connecting with God. That's why these rituals are so elaborate. Okay? Verse number 36. Vidhina vihite kunde mekhla gart vedibhi agnim adhay paritaha samuhet pani noditam. After constructing an arena, as enjoined by the scriptures, utilizing a sanctified belt, a sacrificial pit, and a raised altar, the devotee should perform a fire sacrifice. He should ignite the sacrificial fire with wood that he has personally collected. Here, the procedure for worshipping the Lord in fire is being described. 3 mekhla, each about 4 inches long, should be used. The depth of the pit should be about 1 foot. An altar mound should be prepared around the pit. In this way, one should make preparations for performing a fire sacrifice. So in our Vedas, there are a lot of instructions of this. This is like a fire pit means that Havan Kund. how it should be, how deep, how wide. And different, they give a lot of different instructions, different for different rituals, different Havan Kunds also. Okay. So verse number 37. परिस्थितार्था पर्युक्षेद अनुवाधाय यथाविधि परोक्ष न्याय साध्य द्रव्यानि प्रोक्ष्यग्न्यो भाव्येत माम. First, one should spread kush grass on the ground and sprinkle water over it. Then one should perform the ritual of placing wood into the sacrificial fire while chanting the prescribed mantras. Thereafter, one should purify all of the items to be offered as oblations by sprinkling water upon them. After doing this, one should meditate upon me as being situated within the sacrificial fire. That's the main thing. Remembering that God is in that fire. Thereafter, the sacrificial pit should be filled and covered with the dry kush grass, and water should be sprinkled in the four directions. Beginning from the north, one should then sit down and meditate on the Lord as the super soul situated within the fire. Let's stop it here, because then there's a group of 4 verses, and we'll start from there next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.